There are many important legal questions to ask about this very disturbing case, which is why we're joined now by Lisa Bloom, anchor for In Session on truTV. And Lisa, I want to play a little bit more of the tape. This is a part of the interrogation where clearly they're leading this child. And then let's talk about it. Listen.
So you think you might have shot at Tim accidentally?
Because I already saw him bleeding, and I kind of saw him shaking. And I think I was holding a gun, and I think it might have gone off, or I don't know.
Okay, so you saw Tim shaking, and you had the gun at that time. Okay. Now, let's talk about your dad. Let's talk about your dad. What happened with your dad?
I don't know.
Come on, tell us the truth.
I'm not lying.
Did Tim shoot your dad?
I don't know.
How about if we had somebody that told us that you might have shot him?
Shot who?
Your dad and Tim.
So how about if we had somebody who told us you might have shot him? Look, I am a layperson observing this, but that sounds a little outrageous to me. This is a child.
Yeah, this is very, very disturbing. What we know is that children under the age of 12 especially, and this boy's a third grader, are highly susceptible to questioning by authority figures, by a police officer, by a teacher, or by a judge. And this child, at the beginning of the interview, maintained steadfastly that he did not do it. He came home and found the father and the friend lying in a pool of blood. The authority figures make it very clear to him what they want to hear from him. And slowly over the course of the 40-minute interview, he gives them that story. It's very hard to know if this is credible or not. What we do know is that children this young have often been found to have engaged in false confessions, that simply don't match up with the evidence, because they want to tell authority figures what they want to hear. What we need is some hard evidence linking this kid to the crime.
So you think there's a chance that he maybe didn't do this, and the way it reads to you, it's hard to tell, frankly.
I need a lot more evidence, Campbell. I want to see the ballistics evidence. I want to see the forensics evidence. And by the way, at the beginning of the videotaped interview, which I've listened to very closely, the female police officer says, it's very important for you to be honest, and I promise that I'm going to be honest. Well, police officers don't have to tell the truth in interviews. They frequently do lie as an interrogation method. When she says somebody told me that you did it, I suspect that that is not true. There are no witnesses to this thing. So she's leading him down the primrose path. He's 8 years old. It's not surprising he goes there with her.
This whole case seems unusual. I mean, we're told the police didn't read the boy his Miranda rights.
As if an 8-year-old would understand Miranda rights anyway.
No legal guardian present during the interrogation. I mean, should any of this have happened?
Absolutely.
Are you supposed to read rights to a child? And
yes.
Should there be a guardian present? And why didn't any of that take place?
Yes, it absolutely should happen. Here's what the police say. He was the victim of a crime, and they were interrogating him because he was a crime victim. They didn't expect him to become a suspect, and halfway through the interview, he became a suspect. Well, guess what? That happens every day of the week when police are interrogating crime victims. All of a sudden, oh, it looks like this person's a suspect now. They know they're supposed to stop the interview, Mirandize the person, and say that they have a right to remain silent, the right to an attorney. And with an 8-year-old child, come on, of course an adult, a parent, the mother, the stepmother, a guardian, or an attorney should have been brought in.
So if this goes forward, if this actually goes to trial, what happens to this kid? I mean, if he's found guilty, what could happen to this kid?
Well, now we hear that he's going to be tried as a juvenile, not an adult. Thank goodness for that, which means he could be held in juvie, as he calls it, in the juvenile facility until the age of 18. But all of this can still be used against him, so it's going to be up to the judge to take a hard look at the videotape. I say one thing is very good about this case, Campbell, and that is that we have a videotape of this alleged confession. In a lot of states, still, these confessions are not videotaped, and it's the word of the police officer against the word of a suspect.
Yeah.
I think certainly for juvenile interrogations, they should always be videotaped. And I'm glad at least we have that so a judge can look at it very closely.
Well, we'll stay on top of this and certainly let everyone know how it all turns out.